Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. I'm sure you're all happy what's going on at the moment. We're currently looking at 240, pretty much amazing. We've actually, for a very short period, I believe we had a new all-time high, but the candle hasn't closed there, but it is amazing. We're just climbing our way up to the all-time high with Cardano, and the other cryptos now are looking good as well. This boost that Bitcoin had really gave, I think, or was the catalyst for Cardano. Cardano was already doing better than the other cryptos over the last couple of days. And then while staying above the $2 or climbing its way up to the $2 again and above, and then having that boost from Bitcoin, that really made Cardano go to the roof, to the moon, not yet, but yeah, it's looking really good. And as I said, the charts are looking really good. The Cardano chart looking really bullish, and we tracked that in previous videos and it now plays out. So let's have a look, as always, at Bitcoin first and why this is all happening, and then we are taking a look at Cardano, where we also have very interesting price developments very close to the all-time high. When you watch this video, maybe we already have the all-time high. I think there is a realistic possibility it might take place today. Now we're already at 241, so let's take a closer look. First of all, Bitcoin, very interesting. I just want to re-emphasize that we are in this ascending wedge. We had this broadening triangle, but we climbed our way from the short breakout, where it, on the daily it didn't even close outside of that. On the daily, it didn't even close outside of the broadening triangle. So really beautiful shape. I haven't moved any of these lines since the previous videos, but it looked like yesterday that it would be below and even below this moving average, the 20-day moving average. But it played out that actually the candle closed exactly within this broadening triangle here. That's really nice. And now we've also climbed our way back into the ascending wedge, where we might now trade within, and which might lead us to 50,000. So this is what I believe will happen now, because the bullish sentiment seems now be playing out and the moving averages are very slow. What I need to say, because I think you appreciate these short comments about, you know, what these patterns mean and everything. I always read a lot of comments about, you're quite happy that I provide some explanation as well. So with these patterns, they always work very well, according to my experience, with moving averages. I mean, moving averages are some of the simplest but also most or clearest indicators of of charts and how they work. So moving averages are very simple, and they are sort of some of the oldest indicators on charts, and they work really well, especially together with these chart patterns. So if you have a chart pattern like an ascending wedge, which is actually a bearish one, but you then have a moving average which comes very close and provides some very strong support, then you know it can turn bullish, because actually then, because this has climbed more and more towards the ascending wedge now and is just below it, so really provides a good support and really nearly runs parallel to the lower line of this ascending wedge. So it provides a really good support. And I think as soon as this 20-day moving average is moving within or inside of this broadening triangle, this pattern will probably be invalidated, and then we will continue to stay within this ascending wedge. So that will be very interesting. There was something like a double top forming here, but we didn't break out to the bottom. So yeah, very interesting. And I think, I mean, I won't repeat all the Bitcoin chart indicators again, everything, because that would just be a waste of time. All looking okay, I think, for Bitcoin. Again, now that the 20-day moving average provided support, my view is that we're now going to go to the 50,000. What's happening then, I don't know yet, but it's all looking good. I think we might bounce back here at 50K, maybe stay within this ascending wedge. But what happened before, when we came to these important resistance levels, like, for example, the 50,000, I mean, what happened before is that we saw a huge pump and we just went through. And that just depends on, are whales coming in, you know, is really buying pressure building up. And what we can currently see is that, yes, it is all looking bullish. We are not in overbought territory yet, at least not here on the daily chart. And the 200-day moving average, which is the yellow line here, is now again just below. It's a bit hard to see here, but it's now again just below the price action. So provide some support here. It's hard. It is a area, this 200-day moving average, that we were really fighting around and fighting for. Now we're on the bullish side of it because we're above it, just below, just above the 200 and above the 20 and above the 50. So this is all looking quite good. I mean, you can see that this 20-day moving average is now going up. So we'll provide some support. And if it is going up, it will also drag the price up higher. I think as soon as we see this 20-day crossing the 200-day, this is what we've been waiting for a while as well. This is a bullish crossover and could indicate some further bullish developments on the Bitcoin chart. Whenever a shorter term moving average crosses a longer term moving average, that is actually a good sign. I mean, to be honest, these moving averages are always lagging behind a little bit because they are lagging behind the price action. If you want some moving averages which are responding quicker, then you have to take the exponential moving averages. But to be honest, because crypto is already that volatile, I normally try to stick with the simple moving averages. And to be honest, they seem to work better in crypto, and many traders are also using them in the crypto market. And they are some of the oldest ones and they work really well. Right, let's have a look at Cardano, because that is what we're all interested in. Again, when I do this video, nearly 242, we already had 246.78. I believe that is even, no, it's not the all-time high. We can see here on, at least this is the Bitfinex chart on Bitfinex. Down here you can see 52-week range. It's down here. The all-time high was here on this exchange. And by the way, it can be different on different exchanges. But on this exchange we had 247.4. So this is obviously a resistance level now, the all-time high. In the previous videos I said we'll now get to the all-time high, and we will see new all-time highs as well. That's my strong view. It's very hard to put a timing on this, but it will happen in the next few weeks. So it could mean that we're now bouncing off that level for a few days or so, but we will see it very shortly. These levels, like an all-time high, obviously always are resistance levels. And we had that huge pump yesterday that really took us from 210, roughly 212, you know, guys, to 240. So this was a huge pump, and I haven't checked yet. What I said in previous videos was when we had this flag pattern, this flag pole, because we had this bull flag play out, that what you normally do, you take the flag pole here and you add it to the downside or the upside of this flag pattern, which is basically just a channel, and then you get to the price target. So I did say it was around 250, but that was the case when we added this pole, I think, to the upside of the channel. If we add it to the downside, I think it's pretty clear that we are pretty much there where the price target was. So you take this, which was 170 was the start of this pole, 170 to around 220. So that's pretty much 50 cents. So from here, from the top of this, this would have taken us to 250, but actually from this lower end, which was pretty much 190, if you add 50 cents, we're pretty much at 240. So the first price target from this bull flag pattern was 240. So very interesting. And again, it played out as we said on this channel. I believe this bull flag is now over because we've had this price target. This doesn't mean that we're not gonna go higher, because there's new patterns are forming, and the whole sentiment in the market is now very bullish, very positive. There have been news coming out about more institutional investors going into Cardano, and it's pretty clear when you look at all these charts that there is a strong preference at the moment for Cardano. A lot of speculation as well, of course, because there is the Alonso hard fork coming up. People are realizing now that Cardano, everything will change for Cardano. And it's a bit different for me compared to previous hard forks, because this is now where a lot of users will come in. More adoption is coming in. more people will have to buy ADA if they want to use the dApps, you know, or at least they can, and then they make use of the ADA coins. And yeah, it will just make the whole ecosystem much stronger. Also, you know, what I want to mention, they're always in the comments, you know, is it now the right time to buy ADA? If I recommend to buy ADA now, and I will not recommend anything, because on this channel, this is not financial advice. I can always give you my opinions. I can say that, you know, in my view, Cardano is bullish. You know, in my view, Cardano will reach $5 this year, or between 4.5 and 5. That was always my most conservative prediction. And it's very hard to put a price tag on this, because I also said that $10 might be realistic. And if we look at the stock to flow model, and if we look at the ratio of Bitcoin and Cardano in end of 2017, the end of the last bull market, if we take the same ratio and if we apply it to today, and if we assume the stock to flow model, which tells us that Bitcoin might end up at somewhere around 100,000, maybe even a little bit higher this year or beginning of next year, then Cardano can go up to $30, honestly. And I made a video on that. You know, in areas or in times where there's a lot of exaggeration, and in areas where there's a lot of inflation, I don't think that is too unrealistic, at least for a very short period of time. People always talk about it's not possible because of market cap. But bear in mind, if we talk about market cap, why is it not possible? If Cardano is going up, other cryptos will go up as well. So the market cap of the whole crypto market will go up. Also, why is it not possible? I mean, it's, you know, we've never had that much money printed as in today's times. So money is there. It's just a question of where is the money? Is the money flowing into crypto or not? So market cap is not an argument for me, because 5 years ago, nobody would have predicted, or most people, 99.9% of people wouldn't have predicted where Bitcoin is today, and Cardano didn't even exist yet. So honestly, these things are realistic and possible. What we can see here now, and this is the 4-hour chart, just looking at possible patterns that are forming, we can see on the daily, no, the 4-hour, that another triangle is forming, trend continuation pattern, especially in an uptrending market. So this is pretty much the same that we had down here. Something where the price action develops in a way that we are moving towards an apex. Guys, I believe today we are going to see, and very shortly, going to see a decision point here. With what's currently happening, I believe we will see new all-time highs. Is it going to happen already now? Well, it could be. It could also just go up to 247 again and then trade above this for a period. But we have this all-time high, which is currently sitting at 247. But this is not going to hold long. I mean, there's always things that can happen, like Bitcoin is going down again, and then it will probably take a bit longer. But very shortly, possibly on the weekend, we'll see the all-time high. That's my current view. It's a bit faster than I actually thought. So at this level here, we have the all-time high, 247, and it's playing out very nicely at the moment. So what you normally have when you have an ascending, or when you have a triangle like that, what is the target, the price target? The price target is normally you take the length of this beginning of this first candle, pretty much, it's pretty much like 10 cents or something. No, it's 15 cents. So if we add it to that, we'd get to somewhere around 260. And these are only very short-term price targets. And on this channel, I don't want to give, at least not yet, maybe one day, I don't want to give you know, signals and everything, because I believe it's everybody's own decision, and I'm not active enough in the market. I'm not a day trader, so I am not in there all the time. I can't give signals all the time, but what I can tell you is like the higher level chart patterns and what will possibly happen during the day according to my experience, and also what textbooks tell us, and it's all looking really good. It's all looking really good. What we need to be aware of always is here the greed index, Bitcoin, telling us in which phase we are. We're currently in the greed phase. I explained it in another video. I won't explain it all again, but in the greed phase has always been a good sell signal. What we need to be aware of, that we are in this phase. So everybody, you know, we are in this phase, pretty much like an overbought market. But what we can see from previous bull markets as well, there was always space to the upside still. So we normally went nearly into the euphoria phase. But there was one occasion, which was in June 2019, where we actually already were in the greed phase, and then we sold off. But if this is really the second leg of the bull market, we might get to the this pink zone or euphoria or just touch it. And the last time that happened in 2017, there was still space of around, where are we here? There was still a lot of space from when we entered the greed phase to the euphoria phase. In terms of price, that meant still an increase of around $10,000. So it doubled the price. So if we assume it might double the price again, could mean we will end up at somewhere pretty much where the stock to flow model is telling us Bitcoin will end between 85,000 and 100,000. That could mean Cardano will easily go to $4, I believe, and $4.5, which is what I said pretty much from the beginning of when this channel was created. But that's only this year. That's only my conservative price prediction. I strongly believe that Cardano can go higher as well. What we can very nicely see on the daily chart here is that these moving averages are coming close as well, will provide some further support. They have really acted nicely as support, and also on the 1 hour chart we can see this triangle, and it will be very interesting how this plays out. But yeah, normally trend continuation, especially in an uptrending market. Is there going to be a sell-off or a correction coming? Probably. Honestly, I don't think there will be one now before the all-time high. I think the sentiment is really positive, and I think we've already seen this short sell-off, which was the flag pattern, which we identified on this channel. People asking me, is it the best time? Is it a good time to invest in ADA now? Again, I've been talking about ADA for 2 months now on this channel. There was always a good time to invest. From looking at the last 2 months, it's probably the worst time now because we are at 250 nearly. And however, I can't predict, are we going down to 150 again? It's so hard to predict. Maybe in the bear market, yes. But for me, the best time or the best way to invest in crypto is a dollar cost averaging way of doing it. So for me, if I wanted to invest, if I was new in the market, I wanted to invest, I probably would buy a little bit now. I wouldn't put all my money in now. I would probably buy a little bit now. In a week's time or a month's time, I would buy more. Then in a month's time I would buy more, or maybe on a weekly basis, because it is very volatile, and that way I always get a good average price, and I'm not worried by if the price goes up. I'm happy because the portfolio value goes up, and if the price goes down, I'm happy as well because I can buy more ADA for a lower price. And what I personally have, I have 2 portfolios. So I have a long-term portfolio I just will never touch, and I have a short-term portfolio where I do some trading. It's a smaller portfolio, but at least then it helps me psychologically, because whenever you are not allowed to touch your ADA or cryptos in general because you have a long-term portfolio, when prices shoot up like that, you really want to participate in the price action as well, and you want to make some shorter-term profits. That is why I have a shorter-term trading portfolio as well. In that shorter-term portfolio, don't have many ADA because it's more a speculative portfolio, and I don't really want to speculate with ADA, but I have some, and at some point I'll probably sell them as well. But this is my much smaller portfolio. Most of my ADA I just accumulate, will hold for the 5 years or even more, will not touch at all. I want to forget about that portfolio, and then one day I'll open it and it will be worth millions, because ADA will go to $10 and maybe even more. So, should you invest now? I can't answer that. This is not financial advice on this channel. It all depends on so many things, on taxes. For example, in some countries you have to hold cryptos for a year before you can sell them, or otherwise you have to pay tax on it. All of that comes into play. How much money you have available, how much, how long do you want to invest for? Because if you want to invest for 5 years, from my point of view, I would buy them, because in 5 years, ADA might be $10. So it's not a bad time to invest. And probably in the next 5 years, I'm going to buy more anyway. So the price will average out anyway, the dollar, my average price. But if I was interested in cashing out this year, I'm not sure if now is the best time to invest, but it's hard to predict. I think it's probably still a good time, because if we look at what happened after the last hard fork, or even before, then we haven't seen the maximum price that we are going to reach before the hard fork. I think the price could even go to $3 or even higher before the hard fork. That's why I've been talking about a rally coming before the hard fork for weeks now. And everybody who's followed this could have made some nice profit actually. And also the last few predictions on this channel have been quite accurate. I'm a bit surprised by this actually, that it has played out that nicely. But it's nice to see, and apparently it helps you as well. But bear in mind, you know, as everybody, I can be wrong as well. So this is always just a little bit entertainment as well. Hope you learn something from it. Don't take it too seriously, and don't. I mean, you know, it's your decision if you base your trades on it. But this is not a channel like, you know, to the moon, where people are made into buying and leveraging and everything. I want to make a serious TA here, and that hopefully you learn something from if you want to do your own TAs, and hopefully it helps the ADA community as well. So hopefully you liked the video update. I'll update you later today anyway. Maybe then we'll already have the new all-time high. Hope you appreciate these updates. If you like them, please really smash the like button. Please put a comment in the comment section, because that motivates me to make more videos more frequently, and it also helps the algorithm, helps these videos to be seen or watched by other people. And please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.